Hello, Algebra 1B students, for Mr. Fry. This is February 22nd. I believe this is your homework due tomorrow. Unit 5, Homework 2, Solving Systems by Substitution. Let's take a look at these. Both of these and number 1 say that y equals this. So if y equals both of these, they're going to both equal each other. So I go ahead and I solve for x. I just take this one to equal that one. And then I plug in for the x value in one of the problems. And I chose the first one, seemed the easiest one to me. Doesn't matter which one you put it in because it's going to give you the same answer. You could go ahead and check that for yourself. But when I plugged it into that first one, I got y equals -2. So pause this as you go along, and you can see my steps and go through my steps on your own also to kind of, reteach yourself how to do these as we've been doing them for a little while now. This one says y equals this x plus 8, so I'm going to put this x plus 8 down in here for y, right? I'm just going to that's why they call it substitute method. This, y equals that, so y, instead of y, I'm going to put this here. And that's what I do. That's why they call it substitute. And then I just combine my like terms, isolate the variable, and I get x equals 3. Then I take 3 and I could put it in either one of these to solve. You'll get the same answer. So I put in a 3 right there, and I got y equals 11. I'm going to put that in for my x. Moving on to number 5. Let me go back up here and check this one out. So that was 2x. And I subtracted 8 from both sides. I'm just kind of going over this real quick just to make sure, because I did this while a webinar was going on at the same time. -6. Oh, okay. Yeah, there is an issue here. I thought it looked kind of weird. So -6 divided by 2 is going to give me -3. So if I have -3, because when I said that, when I put that in this problem, I was like, wait a minute, it wasn't the same answer. So it's not going to be 11. Nope, it's going to be 5. There we go. That's a lot better. Sorry about that. Okay, sometimes, you check yourself, put them in both, see, they should be the same answer, okay? Now, when I if I were to put that -3 here too, -3, add 3 to both sides, y equals 5. Yes, it equals. It didn't equal 11 when I did it in my head there. That's why I paused it and just rechecked it. Okay, for number 5, you see that y equals this. I substitute this in for y, and I ended up getting x equals 0. So if x equals 0, y is going to equal 2. And plugging that into either one of those, you'd see that would work out too. Number 7 is an interesting one. When I plug in this y value here, I end up getting 2x minus 2x. So 2x minus 2x, I got no x's anymore, and I get -1 equals 3. That's no solution. -1 does not equal 3 whenever you see that. And if you were to look at this a little bit further and think of this in slope-intercept form, you would see that they have the same slope. When they have the same slope, they're parallel lines. Sorry, excuse me. So there's no solution. They will never cross. That's why there's no solution. Going on to number 9, I have where y equals -4x plus 8. I plug that in for my y here, and I get x equals 3. I plug in my 3 where x is in either one of these, and I chose this one. Probably should have chose the other one, looks easier. But anyways, y equals -4. Here's your number 11. I changed this so that I could figure out just what y equals. Y equals -2x minus 2. And then I plug that value in for y. I get x equals 2. I plug in my x, y equals -6. This one had a couple steps in order to get y. Just I want to know what y is. I don't want to know what negative y is. I want to know what y is. So y equals 8x plus 6. So I plug that in for my y here and the other problem, and I get x equals negative 1. So I plug in that x value in here for x, and I chose the first one just because it looked easiest, and y equals negative 2. And lastly, number 15, I isolated the x. You could have isolated the y and then put that y up here too. Either one, you're going to get the same answers. So I plugged in that x value here for this one. Plugged in the x value, solved for y equaled negative 5. Then I went and plugged in the negative 5 in this problem here just because it looked easier, and I got x equals 1. So 1, negative 5 would be my final answer. So just make sure your answers can be seen. It said, clearly identify your solution. So, I always put that at the bottom, making sure you have your x first and your y second. Good luck on the even ones. Go ahead and make mistakes. Learn from them. That's making progress.